Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to MediaMelt, the show where we talk about the media that is supposed to melt our minds, or in the very least, tries to. I'm, of course, your host, Dylan Strickland, and since we are on our 2-month break catch-up period, we are going to be talking about Cobra Kai Season 4. Joining me is Sensei Jon Costa. How are you doing, Jon?
I'm doing great. I love that intro. What an intro.
Thank you.
It's wonderful.
And it's not quite over yet because, as you guys know, I'm going to give you a breakdown of how the show is going to go today. We're going to talk about Season 1, 2, and 3 of Cobra Kai before we talk about Season 4, but you can skip to the part you want to hear in the timestamps below in the description of the video. Butchered that, though. We also want to remind you guys that you can listen to this show on whatever podcasting app of choice. Don't forget to like and subscribe, but let's get into it. Jon, what are your thoughts on Season 1 of Cobra Kai? Now, this is from the beginning of the show to the point where Robbie and Miguel face off in the All Valley tournament.
Right.
But for the first
I had like no idea what to expect. I remember going into Season 1 and I think I had avoided the show because I thought it looked cheesy. I didn't completely understand the marketing. But I remember what happened. I was alone on New Year's. Yeah, I was alone on New Year's, and I was like, you know what? I'm kind of sad. I'm gonna check this out. I got nothing else to watch.
So did
And
you watch it when it came out on YouTube Red, or did you watch it once Netflix acquired it?
I watched it when it was on Netflix. I remember
Okay, got
watching it
you.
on Netflix. No, maybe it was on YouTube. No, it was on Netflix. It was on Netflix. I'm gonna stick to that. Anyway,
Yeah.
it was on Netflix. I was watching it and I binge watched the whole thing.
Mm-hmm. If it was on Netflix, you probably had up until you probably could watch all of it to Season 3, huh? Or Season 2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I binge watched Season 1 and 2 in one night.
Because it's short. It's so short. I love that about the
Yeah,
show.
it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was great. It was a great continuation of the original Karate Kid movies. And I wasn't like the biggest fan of the Karate Kid movies. I was like a moderate fan of them.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they were fine, you know.
Oh my fucking God. One
I
second. I
thought
didn't
I,
realize.
I honestly think the show excels, or really does a lot better than the source material it's basing itself on.
Really? You
Um,
think so?
I don't know, man. Like I understand that Karate Kid is such a like cult classic, or it has a really like big fan base around it, maybe. But I don't know. I think it also has the benefit of the fact that it's a show, so it has like a lot more that it can expand on, and it can look at people's point of views, and it can dig deep into side characters and all this stuff. So you get to see everybody's point of view, and in the movie you don't really get to do that as much. So maybe if Karate Kid had gotten to do that, I would feel the same way. But
That's fair enough. But come on, Jon. It's Karate Kid. Put him in a body bag, Johnny. Come on. Everybody loves Karate Kid, bro.
God,
And come on. Well, okay, I understand that because there are, and it's like, to be fair, it is kids not our age but closer to our age.
yeah.
So like, I guess there's that like factor too. Plus, the whole like Johnny being a drunk thing is like a really nice little spin on it,
Yeah,
I think. Yeah.
yeah, and you're trying to see if Johnny's gonna like become a better person by
Yeah.
the end of it, you know,
Like the
and he kind of,
underdog story is I'd say the underdog story is better than it is in Karate Kid 1.
yeah. It's interesting that it switches it like all of a sudden, you know, Johnny is the underdog now
Mm-hmm.
because of where he is in life, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and LaRusso has his LaRusso Auto, and that's one
Mm-hmm.
thing I never saw was he becomes the owner of a car company or a car dealership,
Mm-hmm.
which I
But
think is great.
and I like the even though I'm not a big fan of Robbie, honestly, his son, I do like the son dynamic between like him and Miguel and Robbie.
Yeah, me too. I think with Robbie, like I don't know. I feel like the writers kind of forget what to do with them later in later seasons, but we're not there yet.
Yeah, well,
But
we'll get there.
yeah,
Yeah.
we'll get there. We'll get there. But anyway, Robbie, I think maybe his background is a little bit more shallow than everyone else's. I mean, his kind of is like his background's kind of rough. Like he grew up
Hmm.
kind of poor, and his dad was never there for him, and
Hmm.
that's kind of all they say. You know,
Yeah.
they don't really say anything else. Like if they delve deep and give us some specifics, like that'd be great.
Are you talking about for Johnny or for Robbie?
Robbie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
they don't really give us
Like,
specifics on what hardships he was dealing with. I mean, they do really get like how he feels abandoned, you know, and what that abandonment did to him and how bitter he feels about it. But
hmm
I don't
yeah.
know.
I like for the most part, I the first like three seasons don't really touch on Karate Kid 3 all that much, but they do touch on Karate Kid 1 and 2. And I think Karate Kid 2 is better. Like I like Karate Kid 2 more. But but I I just kind of I don't know. I appreciate the show doesn't like has sometimes the editing works and sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes like when they cut back to the old Karate Kid movies, I'm like, okay, yeah, like that was probably necessary. But at other points, I'm like, I don't want to say it's cheesy. The show has its own like cheesiness. Like it has a
Yeah.
very it like it creates its own like, okay, yes, the world we're in is cheesy, but it's like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I honestly think that the show has a tone that I don't think I've seen in other TV shows. I wouldn't know what to call the tone of it because it deals with serious things, but it also deals with like teen drama.
Yeah, have you ever watched like the YouTube series Video Game High School?
Yes, yeah,
It
I have. Yeah,
it feels a lot like that.
I can see that. Yeah,
Yeah, like the tone seems to be like something very similar to that.
for
Um
sure.
and I think that's really I think it works really well in for most of the show. I think it works really well. Um
Yeah.
in season 1 specifically though. I think I'm not I didn't love the whole like Miguel villain arc even though I understand why that was happening. And I don't know if I was ready by the time season but when season 1 ended. I didn't know whether or not I was. It didn't feel like the stories they were telling in season 1 really ended because they introduced Kreese. You know what I'm saying? Like they introduced,
Yeah.
and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I don't know if we're quite here yet. Like I get it, the Oliver Valley Championship happened, but I thought maybe we are gonna see some resolution with like the, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. That might have
I,
just been me.
I guess I understand what they were trying to do, like, you know, show that, oh, Cobra Kai's methods like just corrupt people, you know, and it just turns good people bad, you know, and it
Yeah.
pulls the worst out of you, you know.
Mhm.
Um
I get it. I
and
just I was like, it felt like Johnny was on the arc of like redemption, and then the kids were on the arc of like villainization. Does that make sense? Which I like what they did with it in season 2 more, but I mean, as far as like season 1 goes, I don't know.
yeah, yeah. I What was your issue with it exactly, I
I
guess?
think I don't know. I just don't think I bought in all the way on Miguel being like evil, not evil, but you know what I'm
Oh, I
saying,
see.
like Hawk essentially, like Hawk for most of the
Yeah.
show. I didn't buy into that.
Yeah.
Just because like we've seen where he like comes from and like I don't know. I was just like really I don't know. But what I will say is I love the triangle. I liked the whole like Danny LaRusso's teaching Johnny's son, and then um Johnny's teaching Miguel. Miguel's in love with John or Danny's daughter. Like I liked
Oh
that. I love
gosh.
that interplay a lot.
Yeah, it worked really well. And
Yeah.
like what a creative writing team that figured that out because that was great.
Yeah. And then we get
Yeah.
into, are you ready to move on to season 2?
But yeah, let's do it.
And then season 2, what I was saying, like essentially, I think it kicks ass where they won the tournament, and then Johnny's like, um, honor is like, what's the point of? Would you rather? Where he does the whole speech where he's like, would you rather, um, kill the lion as a, opposed to the goat, right? Like, what would you rather take out? And would you know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that a lot, and I think I don't know. I came around to the crease thing by the end of it. What do you think about season two? It's from the essentially that point right after the All Valley tournament to the school fight. What do you think about season two?
I was I was confused by what kind of character Kreese was gonna be at the beginning.
Oh, because he
Um,
tries to be all good and shit.
yeah. And I was really confused. Like, okay, is he like, is he really trying to change, or and clearly, like, it doesn't seem like he has by the end of season two. He's basically as bad as ever. Um,
That's interesting that you bought into that a little bit. I never once. I was. I was like, this dude's
I
a
mean,
fucking asshole. Like he's gonna be an asshole.
I think I'm just too trusting in people. I'm just like, oh, yeah, he's gonna try, and there's some good in him. But no, it doesn't work out.
No, of course not.
Yeah, I thought it really built. I think it built really well on the arc that season one set up.
Hmm.
You know,
It does do a
um,
lot. Yeah, it does.
yeah. Doesn't Miguel kind of like become pretty good again, like, or at least
Yeah,
self-aware?
he learns the lesson of like mercy, and then that's where he gets murked in the finale. Robbie kicks him over the
That's right. Oh, and then
with.
you get to watch this beautiful journey of Miguel like healing and stuff, and that's
But that's
beautiful.
season three, John. Don't get ahead of
That's,
yourself.
that's right. Sorry,
Yeah,
sorry.
we're in season two.
That's right. But yeah, you get to see. I think Johnny is at a point where he's realizing, oh shoot, maybe I need to change things up.
Yeah, and I
Maybe,
think this season with Johnny has, I think, one of the best moments where he's talking about his son in the hospital,
yeah,
and he's like, I wasn't there, and then I continued to not be there for the rest of his like life, for like his birth, right? I don't know. When Johnny talks about his relationship with his son, I really enjoy it. But when I think about Robbie, I don't know. I don't like Robbie. I don't know why.
I'm also like, I don't know if you feel this way, but I'm also like, why doesn't Johnny just like go into Robbie's life? Like sometimes I'm just like, why don't you just do it, man? Why don't you just re-enter this kid's life? Like
Well,
you keep
it seems like that might be where we're going, but I'm like, I don't know. I also I don't know. I think it's really bold. What I didn't expect, I thought that season two was going to start and we were going to do like a time jump, and then the All Valley would be at the end of season two again. But the show I felt was kind of bold in doing the fact that like two seasons occur without the All Valley tournament.
Yeah,
Like the main
yeah.
showdown and it is like a fight at the school, which I did think actually kicked ass. Like I thought the
Oh
fight
yeah,
was
I thought it
pretty
was
well
awesome.
choreographed.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really cool. Um, the fight worked for me. I couldn't believe when Robbie freaking kicks Miguel down the stairs and
Yeah, and then you've got the thing with the dude, what's his name? The one with the Stingray, where he
oh
beats this, where
yeah.
he walks around the school and starts throwing their heads into lockers and stuff. He's on Team Cobra Kai. I don't know. I really like, and then I think this is the season where they do Robbie and Sam end up together,
Yeah.
and because he hits her, or maybe that was last season that he hit her, or the season one where he hit her, but then now she's with Robbie and he ends up with Tori, who is whatever. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. That whole storyline with Robbie, like I felt like the triangle worked well in season one, but then once they started doing this with where like she's with Robbie, I got it. I understood what they were doing there, but I was still like, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
How'd you feel about it?
It at times got a little bit too cheesy for me. Um, but I
Really?
understood. I don't know. I knew what they were.
There's no such thing as too cheesy.
There's no such thing as too cheesy. I don't know. In high school, did you get involved in a lot of love triangles? Because I sure didn't.
No, not well, maybe one or two.
but
Not
I don't
really.
know. I'm just like I'm trying to think back. I don't even know if I think I root for Miguel. Miguel
At the
and
school fight?
no. In terms of that relationship
No,
with,
I was always that's my problem with it is I was always rooting for Miguel. I was never
oh,
once
okay,
like, oh
okay.
yeah, Robbie deserves Sam. Like, yeah, like no. I was like, fuck this. Like I know Miguel hit her, which is I don't condone that at all. But
Yeah, of course.
but neither does Miguel. So like I was the entire time I was like, fuck this relationship with Robbie, dude. Like, and then once they kiss and like, which is what kind of leads to the school fight. I was just sitting there. I was like, thank God, because I was like, I literally was waiting on her to cheat on him,
Yeah,
which
yeah,
makes me
yeah.
terrible. But
Uh,
but then at the end, I think this tease at the end is like the best tease so far with where Kreese buys the dojo.
that's right. That's
Yeah, at
right.
the end of
Yeah,
season two,
yeah.
Kreese buys the dojo and or not buys, he just kind of takes it, which I
Yeah.
thought was excellent. I don't know. How do you feel about that?
I love that. I love that. It was badass. Did
Yeah.
you say that was your favorite tease out of all the season?
Yeah, yeah. As far as like, oh, this is the end of the season, I thought that was like the best tease we've gotten
Damn.
so far. Like I was like, I gotta click next on season three.
I don't know. That season 4 tease got me, man, but
Oh,
we'll
you
get
like
there.
that? You like that?
I don't know, man. That was surprising to me. I sure didn't see that coming.
Yeah. Well, okay, John.
We'll
We'll talk about
get there.
that. We'll talk about that. We'll get
Yeah.
there. Um,
Uh-huh.
but moving into season three, we're blowing through as you can tell.
Uh-huh.
Moving into season three. Let me change. Oh yeah, here's my slide. There's my season two one. You like that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, look, I got a Cobra Kai never dies there. Yeah, that one's good. Oh shit. Don't fuck that. Okay. Oh wait, I'm fucking it up. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so then we get into season three, which is where um uh this starts out. Wait, I'm forgetting how this starts. Oh yeah, yeah. From the moment right after the school fight to the fight at the Miyagi Do and like
Right.
and his house or not Miyagi Do,
Yeah.
his
Oh, the
house.
house fight. It was that
Yeah,
house
yeah,
fight. Right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that
Um,
one was really cool too. Yeah.
uh, I wrote here in my notes the chemistry between Johnny and Danny is actually really good. And then the second thing I wrote is God, I hate Hawk. But the thing with it is every time I make a note to say like, oh, I hate like I hate a character, they do something in the show that like changes the perspective on them. Like with Hawk, like I was like for like season two and three, I was like, dude, fuck this kid. And then by the end, he like comes around and helps Dimitri, who I also hate, by the way. I don't like Dimitri.
I hate
Um,
Dimitri. Yeah, he sucks.
I hate Dimitri. Yeah, he sucks.
This might be the one piece of media that me and you mostly agree on.
I'm shocked so far about how much we agree with it. But yeah, no, Dimitri's the lamest fucking dude. Like I don't know, he's so lame. And
He's so lame.
Hawk, I hate him 1 second, like when he's being a dick, like he's no longer a dick. But I'll hate him when he's being a dick, and then they'll do something. I can't remember what it was, where he's like, "Guys, we shouldn't do this" or something. And I'll be like, "Oh, okay, maybe he's like can come back around." Um, but this is also the season where I think the show does something. I think my least favorite thing that the show is doing is like the John
Uh-huh.
Kreese flashbacks.
Oh yeah, I didn't like that either.
That started in
Yeah.
season three, yeah, where we like flashback to the war and like the last one is cool, like where he's like fighting over the snake pit, and that's kind of how he comes up with the name Cobra Kai and stuff. Um,
Yeah.
but I like those overall. I was just like, this just seems like really corny, and we don't really. I didn't feel like we necessarily needed it. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. Yeah, me neither. Yeah,
Yeah.
I definitely think they could have found a way around that.
Well, what did you think about
Mhm.
season three as a whole?
I liked it. I mean, it was cool to see Miguel have to go through that healing process. As I said before, it was really beautiful.
Yeah, that see
Um,
that was I think the best part when him healing the back and stuff.
yeah, yeah. I think they did those flashbacks. I guess it was like to humanize Kreese, I guess, to show why he's so terrible.
Mhm.
But again, I still believe that there were better ways to figure that out. I
Because
even
oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
like in season 4 they do stuff to humanize them that I think it like does huge amounts more than the flashbacks ever did. But
Really? Because I still think like I was watching the like they're humanizing him, right? But I don't know. Like I'm like, do I really need? I don't know. He seems like to me, he's like one of those characters. Like you're too far gone, buddy. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, I agree. I think he's so far gone that you could end up calling him a bad person. I think
Hmm.
one of the goals of the writers or the showrunners is to probably say like people are complicated in this world that maybe a lot of 80s movies created if there's a good guy and a bad guy doesn't really exist in the real world. Like people just
Hmm.
have different motivations or
Hmm.
different reasons why we do certain things, you know?
Yeah, I'll agree. I that's probably where we're going. I'm sure there's going to be a fucking like. I'm sure Kreese by the end of season 5 will be like a good guy and will be like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Johnny, for whatever. You know what I'm saying? But whatever.
Yeah.
Because like that's Johnny's only dad or whatever. I'm sure that's where we're going. Um,
Uh-huh.
that doesn't mean I have to like it until I see it.
Right.
But I will, like I said earlier, Karate Kid 2 is my favorite. And the shit where they bring back Josen and the girl from Karate Kid 2
Yeah,
when he
yeah.
goes to Okinawa and that's in season
Yeah.
3.
Uh-huh.
I fucking love that shit. I ate that shit up so much. Where she brings out the letters and like she's reading the Miyagi stuff, like he
Yeah.
reads that one letter. Dude, I was sitting there like lip quivering, like
Oh my God.
I was about to break down. It almost got me. It didn't get me, but it almost I think it did get me actually. I think I'm lying. I think I definitely cried.
It was so sweet.
It
It
was so
was
sweet, dude. And I can't even
yeah.
remember what he says, but I was just sitting there like I don't know. I something about like I what was it? Something about like family members bring us back together or something like that. I was just like sitting there like oh when he was talking about how Danielson was his like he like thought of him as like his family.
Yeah.
And he like talks about how like Sam is like his like she looks to him as a granddaughter or grandfather. I was just like,
Oh.
oh my god, I'm crying.
Yeah.
Um yeah, and all that shit. How'd you feel about that?
Oh, I loved it. I loved it. All that stuff. It's uh it makes you wish that actor was still around. But
Hmm.
mm, um
I wrote here
what made him go to Okinawa? Was it like a spiritual
it
journey
was
or
no,
what?
it was remember he went on a business meeting because they were the Cole, the other car
That's
dealership.
right. That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah. The other car dealership was gonna basically rat him out, but then it worked out because the girl had a friend who basically worked for them and was like, "Oh, never mind."
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Um
what I don't understand here is I wrote in my notes, Ali stuff just isn't for me. Way too played out and goofy. Ali stuff was terrible. Who's Ali?
I don't know.
Ali. 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 This is the season where they bring back Ali. Do you
Who's
remember
Alex?
the
Which one is
girl,
Alex?
the blonde headed girl that Johnny had a crush on in high school or was dating in high
That's
school?
right. Yes, yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. They
I
bring
wrote
her back. Yeah,
Ali. I
yeah.
meant to write Ali. Yeah. I despised the Ali stuff this season.
That was one thing that felt like they brought her back just to bring her back, like just because it was cool.
Yeah, and I get it. Like Johnny was crushing on her the whole like 2 seasons before, so like it wasn't unprecedented. But it just didn't felt like they didn't have anything for her to do.
Yeah, because I was like, okay, if you're not gonna set up for them to have a permanent relationship, and you've been hinting that he's gonna have a permanent relationship with Miguel's mom, then why are you bringing her on?
Or in the very least, I thought it was going to be like, oh, he's cheating.
Yeah,
Like we were
yeah.
going to see something like that, and it was going to become like super. I don't know, but no, it wasn't like that at all. It was just fucking. She was just there for an episode and then dip. Like I thought that Daniel was going to cheat with that one girl in Okinawa.
Right, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
because they definitely felt like there was even a moment where they like touched hands, kind of.
Yeah.
But I don't know. And I was excited about that because I really liked their relationship in Karate Kid too. Um, but like I said, the final fight was good. Tori is such a mid character to me.
Oh, I
Um,
agree. I
I
also don't
just
really like that actress. I don't think she's strong
you
enough to play that role.
Peyton List.
Yeah.
Well, I won't say that, but I just think I don't know what the problem is. I just she doesn't connect. She doesn't land with me. Um, but I
I
just
I
I don't know. It doesn't work for me. But her and Sam's conflict is not terrible.
No, I agree with that. But
Yeah.
I honestly I agree with 100% of everything that you're saying and 100% of everything that you're not saying. Um,
What do you mean by
y-
that, John?
you know exactly what I mean by that. Um, yeah, yeah, it's
It's
do
whatever.
they
It's so
further
fun.
they further the relationship between her and Robbie in this season, right? Like,
Well, yeah,
don't
no, that they not really. That kind of came in season 4, which we'll talk about here in a second.
oh,
Um,
okay, okay,
but
okay.
her and she starts fighting or whatever, and they her and Sam fight, and it's a fine fight. She uses nunchucks, and Sam does the like she faces her fear finally, which was like her kind of arc for the season.
Oh
Because she
yeah,
was
she
scared
had
because she got
PTSD.
scratched or whatever. Um, which can I be honest? I
Yeah.
really like the show. I like the show overall. I think it's great. The production quality on like the clearly plastic spikes
Hmm.
when she punches her arm, I was like,
Yeah.
really? I was like, it left
Hmm.
scars like that.
Hmm.
I was like, good lord. But whatever. The fight was fine. And the part with Hawk where he comes back to the light, I don't know if I was there yet with him.
Uh-huh.
Like I was like, I can
He
see
had
Hawk
done
coming
some crappy
around.
stuff.
Would you say?
He had done some crappy stuff.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like I was
Yeah.
like, my literal note is Hawk was come. I said Hawk coming around was Was he too far gone? Like I literally asked the question, was he too far gone for that? Because I really think he might have been.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean,
Hmm.
whatever. I mean, I get it. Him and Dimitri. What's Dimitri? Um, but I get it. And then I do think that the end of season 3 is also really strong, where Johnny and Danny are finally working together.
Yeah.
And I was like really excited to see that. Like I was like, oh my god, like finally, because like low key them at the like hanging out just like without karate involved in their lives, like them getting beers and stuff like that. I thought was actually really strong.
Yeah, they have a cool dynamic.
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, like I could totally see these guys being friends if they didn't fight all the time. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I think but when they teamed up, I was like, holy shit, like finally, this is kind of what I've wanted to happen for like the last 3 seasons. I feel like you want them to work together, but
Right.
I mean, did you feel the same way, or were you like, no, fuck this?
No, 100%. I wanted them to work together. It felt like everything that needed to happen. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, that's all I'll say. That
Okay.
we're on. Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. And I don't know. We'll get into season 4, and something they did, like what they did with that in season 4, kind of it wasn't bad, but we'll talk about it. Okay. So now we're getting into the story breakdown, which is where we're going in depth on season 4, John.
Okay.
You be ready for that. We did like a light overview of the other 3. Here we go. Um, so of course it starts off with Eagle Fang, which is a terrible name.
Yeah.
Ter-
Horrible.
Terrible. It's so bad. Eagle Fang and Miyagi Do, they begin training together essentially. But Johnny and Danny are clearly disagreeing because their two methods are not nearly the same at all. Um, then Carmen finds out that Johnny and Allie hanging out, which is, and then she's like, I want to take things slow. How did you feel about that? Like, did you feel like that was an appropriate response? How did you feel about kind of that whole dynamic where she found out about?
Sure. You know, she can take it at whatever pace she wants to. You know, she's got history. You
Hmm.
know, she can take it however she needs to. You know,
Hmm.
um, I like the relationship that she has with Johnny. It's a relationship that I was like, come on, hurry up, you know, make it happen. But if she wants to slow it down, I mean, they get there. They get there eventually.
I respected it. I didn't think it was going to last, but I also was like, I was kind of like, really? Because to be honest, nothing really happened between him and Allie.
Yeah, no, no, really.
So like if something had happened, I'd be like, Johnny, like, I mean, they did almost kiss, to be fair. They did.
Hmm.
But they didn't. But they didn't.
They did not.
So nothing wrong happened there.
Mm-mm.
It almost did. Um, uh, don't take that. Please don't do that if you're in a relationship. That's not going to work out well for you. Um, um, then Kreese, this is where he meets. He gets back with Terry Silver. He goes and they're serving like the tofu and like the vegan. You know what I'm saying? Like he's eating all this
Oh yeah.
food that's
Oh
clearly
man,
not
Mr.
Cobra Kai
Grayson.
proven. Um, which I thought was funny how like they offer it to Kreese and he's like, I'm not eating this shit. And then Terry is like living. Have you seen Karate Kid 3?
Dude, I hadn't seen it since I was like probably like 10 years old, man. I could barely remember it.
Mm-hmm.
And they were I didn't remember it until they were showing flashbacks of the movie. And then I was like, "Oh, oh, yes, yes, yes. I remember this."
Okay. Because I
Yeah.
watched Karate Kid 3 in anticipation for like this show. This motherfucker is crazy. Like
Yeah,
not in and I'm not even talking about like, oh, like he's like the Joker or something, like he's crazy. Like the directing choices they choose in this movie are fucking crazy. Like there's one moment where he's like where he's like, what can I do for you, Johnny? Like he's super into it, like super into like killing the kids and stuff. And he's like, what
yeah,
can I do for you? And there's this part where Kreese goes in Karate Kid 3. He's like, I want you to make his hands bleed. Because like that's what Miyagi did to him. I'm sure you know that at least. Like that's what
yeah,
Miyagi did to him. They showed it with he like punching the glass and his hands bleeding.
yeah,
He's like, I
yeah.
want you to make Danny's hands bleed. And he goes, this is verbatim. This is not, I'm not like hyping this up at all. This is exactly what he does. He goes, I like that, Johnny. I'm gonna make his hands bleed. Like that's exactly what he does. It's the goofiest shit I've ever seen, and they explain it with one line in this show. He's you probably remember it. He's like, "Oh, Johnny, like, do you remember what I did? Like, I was cracked up on so much cocaine, and like I tried to make a kid,
Oh,
like
goodness sake.
torture kids." And I was like, "Okay," I was like, "Sure, sure." I was like, "Whatever." That's how you want to explain it away, because this motherfucker was so fucking ridiculous in that movie. I couldn't stop laughing when he was like, "Yeah, I was on so much cocaine in the '80s." I was like, "Okay, whatever."
Oh
But
God.
but did you like the introduction of Terry Silver again?
Oh man, it was it was interesting. I honestly I was like, "Oh, I thought y'all were gonna pretend that Karate Kid 3 didn't happen." But
Me
yeah,
too. Yeah, I was
yeah,
shocked by that.
yeah, y'all are going all in, I guess. So,
Which
okay.
I kind of like more because like at least it bothers me when franchises are like, "Oh, that never happened." You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like Inhumans.
Oh, yeah, never happened.
That never happened. I think that never happened. But with Miss Marvel coming out, I'm like, how are they going to do this? And it clearly looks like they're going to be like, yeah, that never happened. Um, but besides the point, I'm glad that they're like owning it, and then they give like a silly flip it excuse for like what happened.
He was
Um,
just packed up on cocaine,
he was
man.
just on this cocaine, yeah, like
Cocaine's a hell of a drug, man.
he was on a lot of cocaine.
He's on a lot of
Uh,
cocaine.
but then Danny proposes that essentially that Eagle Fang should just integrate, and then they should all just do Miyagi Do without Eagle Fang. Um,
Yeah.
and then they disagree about that, which then they're like, okay, well let's split up. And Kreese while that's happening, Kreese persuades Robbie to join Cobra Kai, and Robbie then starts teaching them Miyagi-Do.
Yeah.
How did you feel about that? The whole Robbie Kreese thing, at least in the
I was like,
beginning.
I was honestly like, Robbie, are you stupid, dude? Like, how have you not gotten the Kreese is a freaking villain, dude? Like, how are you not seeing it? Like, Robbie, you are blind as fuck. Seriously,
Dude,
man.
I just kept thinking. This is nothing against the actor, but I literally kept thinking, like, Robbie is such a bitch, bro. Such a little bitch, dude. Like, I was just sitting there, I was like, seriously, bro. That's the move you're gonna make. Yeah, I couldn't
Yeah,
believe it.
I was like, dude, you need to get over your stuff and go back to either.
Seriously, bro. Put on your big boy pants and let's just accept the fact that like people make mistakes.
Yeah.
You're talking about his absent father.
Yeah.
um then
Uh,
like this is the part where and then Hawk does his whole like he has a problem like the Eagle Fang people have a problem with him being there because he kind of fucked everything up with their house. And then he basically kind of proposes that they build the sparring deck, and then Danny and Johnny agree to like continue working together. How do you feel about that?
it was good. I mean, I like the sparring deck. Honestly, the whole thing with them working together, I was like, why can't y'all just figure it out? Like,
Exactly. Thank
why
you.
can't the writers just make them figure it out? Like, because I want to see this work.
Me too. It's like I don't know. I feel like the like true karate, whatever that means, like lies somewhere in the middle, kind of. And I was like, okay, so this season is going to be about them you learning that middle. Do you know what I'm saying? They
Yeah,
do it halfway,
yeah,
and I was like, okay, so we're going to get back to that point.
yeah.
And we'll talk about it more later, but it doesn't really seem like that's where it's going now. And I'm kind of like,
Same here. I was just gonna say that. Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. We'll talk about it more later.
Mhm.
Then we move into episode 2. And we get introduced to the new kid, Kenny, who's the brother of that dude who beat the shit out of Robbie in jail.
Yeah. What a random comeback, huh?
I know, right? That was such a weird random connection. I get it. I think they introduced this character to further Robbie. That's I think
Yeah, yeah.
exactly like the only thing they were doing with this. Um, and it turns out Daniel's kid is a dick. Which
Yeah.
like a straight white kid growing up in a like very nice house. Who would have thought, right? Um, how did you feel about Anthony being a tool?
I like that they were finally doing something with that character. Just because they were kind of wasting him in the past seasons. Like every time he was in a scene, he was just like, "Oh, I'm playing video games and walking down. Oh, I'm playing video games and sitting on the couch. Oh, I'm gonna
Dude.
say a snarky comment."
And when he's introducing the season, when Johnny's like, "Holy shit, are you the kid? Are you the?" He goes, "Holy shit, are you the son? Would you stop eating Happy Meals or like Whopper Juniors?"
Yeah, he freaking puberty hit him like a friggin' rock,
For
man.
real, bro. I don't know if he was like on a diet or something. He probably just actually hit a growth spurt, but like that motherfucker dropped like 50 pounds.
100%, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and shoot, man, he was freaking mean as heck because of quote unquote peer pressure.
Yeah, he was
That's what.
kind of like Johnny, honestly.
Yeah, yeah, he was
Yeah.
100%.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was also like, is is this real?
Mm-hmm.
Does this kind of bullying still happen? Because I don't know. I was in middle school and high school, and I don't remember getting bullied like
Yeah, where
that.
he like fucking tricks him into cosplaying and he's wearing that goofy ass costume and then they just blast his ass on the internet.
Oh yeah, that was fucking cruel, man. That
Yeah.
was so.
He's a little dick, man. I was just sitting there, I was like,
Yeah,
what a fucking cunt.
yeah, that was so wrong, man. They freaking pretend to be that girl.
Mhm.
Ugh, that was gross. That was honestly just gross.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. But
Yeah.
then then Danny and Johnny they agree to try the other two like karate styles for a day, and they do like the whole montage with Danny kind of learning, the ropes with, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Danny learns Johnny's thing, and Johnny learns Danny's thing, and it's And I thought it looked promising. How did you feel about their like individual
Give me false
montages?
hope, man. Give me false hope.
I know, right? I was just sitting there. I was like, "Come on, guys!" But we'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get there. But how did you feel about the montages stuff? Did you like it?
No, it was really cool to see. Obviously, they fit in some great comedy in that,
Hmm.
yeah, characters that you probably never thought you were gonna see them do these things.
Yeah, I
Um,
like when they fucking walk when when Johnny makes Danny walk across the like steaming hot coals.
yeah.
Yeah. I
Uh,
I thought that was funny. And then Johnny's doing the fucking shit where he falls into the water and he's painting the board and stuff like that. I thought was I thought it was really quite funny. Um and the fucking the shit where he like Johnny makes Danny fight the hockey players and he's like, "Me no be there."
hmm
Yeah. I
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
awesome. But then
Oh
this
yeah.
this basically leads straight into the Tori and Amanda storyline this season, where Tori's family is isn't her dad dying or something? I don't know.
Oh,
Um,
that's right. Yeah,
her mom or dad or whatever is dying, and
yeah.
Priest confronts Amanda at the grocery store and is like, "You're being a dick to my kid. My kid is, suffering at home." Which I thought was interesting to see Kreese take care of, like caring about a kid. And I think that this is what you part of what you were saying, where they're trying to humanize him. How did you feel about like the Tory thing at the beginning with
Yeah,
Amanda?
they used it partially to humanize Kreese, and then also I don't know if it was to give Miss LaRusso something to do
Mm-hmm.
in the season. Um, I mean, and it also, of course, further develops what's her name? What's her name again?
Tori.
Tori. Yeah, it further develops Tori. You know.
Oh, she's fine. She's fine. She's
Yeah, yeah,
fine.
yeah. It further develops her character. She's working all these jobs,
Mm-hmm.
um, and then she sees LaRusso, and LaRusso's got this privileged life and lives in this big house, and her parents are both healthy. Of
Yeah.
course, there's a huge juxtaposition between the two, but
Yeah.
yeah, so it sets up a great conflict between them.
I agree. Yeah. And I like the dynamic where she like tells her mom, "Oh, like I'm gonna be okay. Like you're right. We should be the bigger, better people here." And then she goes to school the next day and she's like, "I'm gonna fuck you up, you bitch."
Yeah.
Like Sam, like I was like,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, Sam.
It's like, damn, girl, that was so aggressive.
Yeah, for real. That shit caught me so off guard. I was like, I don't know. I thought that was fucking wild.
Yeah. I was like, wow, that resolved itself. That's really great.
Yeah, me too. I was like, okay, that's the end of the story there. But no. Um then we move into episode 3. And they have the dinner and Miguel starts to like freak out about like his future and like him and Sam's future, and which leads to like him and Danny kind of working together and fixing the car. How'd you feel about Danny and Miguel getting closer?
I didn't really like Miguel in this season, to be honest, but
Really?
not,
Why?
I don't know, man. It felt like the writers didn't really know what to do with him too much. I mean, it was cool to see him and Danny get closer. I understand that it was making Johnny get jealous, but I don't think he had any reason to be.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, I
Um,
agree. Like Johnny overreacted entirely.
yeah, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Danny could have been like the cool uncle to him or whatever, but
Mm-hmm.
and he had a lot to offer him as far as teaching him karate, and they could have worked it out. And it was a
Mm-hmm.
cool relationship that we hadn't gotten to see in the previous 3 seasons.
I agree. I agree. And I think I don't know. I think I like the Johnny struggle with Miguel teaching. I didn't love it, but I understood it. Like I was like, yeah, this is on par for the character. Like I would see, this makes sense. But I
Yeah.
would say that I felt like It felt like Miguel was really into it. Like, and you know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. And so was Sam. Sam was like, I need to learn the other. Both of them, the whole core thing was like, we need to learn somewhere in the middle, essentially, which is
Yeah.
why I was like, oh, yeah, fuck yeah. Like, they're going to, but it just, I don't know. Yeah, it never got there, unfortunately. And hopefully it
No,
does.
no, it never did.
Yeah.
It felt like
Um,
they learned one or two moves from the other guy.
exactly. Yeah. And then Kenny visits Cobra Kai, um,
Right.
the little kid, and and then he gets his ass handed to him, and then Robbie's like, "Okay, I'll teach you a couple moves." And then by the end of the episode, Kenny goes again and beats the shit out of that kid. How do you feel about that, Kenny and Robbie training?
I kind of like Kenny's storyline, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Being picked on by LaRusso, and then
yeah,
oh,
and
sorry,
then
LaPusso.
Lepusso, and then becoming a cool karate fighter. He got tough, you know.
He did. What is it with Cobra Kai and immediately becoming tough as fuck? Like, have you
I
noticed that?
I have no idea. I imagine you go to one of those classes and then you immediately do a podcast on being an alpha male.
Exactly.
So
How to be Sigma. I
yeah,
really feel like that. Yeah. Fuck. Shit. That's hilarious. Then Johnny goes to Carmen's house and he's like, "No, we're not gonna take it slow. I'm not gonna be," and it works.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I was
right.
like, "What the fuck?" And then they're immediately like, "Which, I mean, good for him, but like, I was
Yeah.
like, wow, really? That worked?" I was shocked by that.
Uh-huh. And then they have fun, intimate time, right?
Yeah, they do. They have fun, intimate time.
Uh-huh.
Very
Yeah.
PG.
Which is like, good for him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then we're all like, oh, yay, they finally did it. Like, they're gonna get together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then that, well, yeah, it works out, and it's fine. It's fine. Then
And then they overcomplicate the like how to tell Miguel thing.
yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get there.
Okay,
One
okay,
second.
okay.
But then Kenny goes to the high school and he gets he gets the shit beat out of him by Eagle Fang kids.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
thought
that's
this was
right.
weird. I was like, this is not on brand.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it was interesting that the Eagle. I get it, but like they were still bullying.
Yeah, I was like, do they want to set up how Kenny feels about them? Like,
Yeah, but no, they just got there and then he was like, "I'm in Cobra Kai," and they were like, "Fuck you," and beat the shit out of him. I mean, they didn't
yeah,
beat the shit out of him, but they just pushed him around.
yeah.
Hmm.
Poor Kenny, man. Like, just the world kind of like went against him and turned him into a monster
Hmm.
until Robbie shows him some sympathy. But
Yeah,
you know,
I agree. And then after that, we go to the entertainment video store where Tori's now working, and
right?
Sam sees her there, and this is like the whole like, oh, she's in a mermaid outfit, and then they throw glitter on her, and it's
Oh, that
like,
was so
and
cruel.
Amanda's like, no, you really should stop. Like, I bought her groceries. How did you feel
Yeah.
about that?
Oh, it was so mean to her. I was thinking about it like I've been that person that has to get a job when I'm around a lot of people that don't have to get a job. I mean, I'm a
Mhm.
freaking theater major, There's a lot of people here that don't have to get a job. It's hard, and like I understand where Sam was coming from as far as like I have these scars on my arm and what did she do? She went up to her that other day and was like, "It's like you better not come near me, bitch."
Yeah,
After she told her mom that she was gonna be the bigger person.
yeah, for real.
Yeah, I'm just like, damn, girl, leave her alone. Like I
Yeah.
know Tony sucks, but like, goddamn, bro, she ain't even do nothing to you.
Hmm. Hmm.
Uh-huh. She ain't cut you since then.
Exactly. I know. That's what I was thinking. I don't know. I wanted to be against Sam, but I really don't like Tori. So I'm still on. I'm gonna be honest. I'm still on Team Sam. Like, I get it. Tori has it rough. I get it. I sympathize, but I really don't. Like, I really like Sam way more, and I don't know why. I don't know. I lean heavily into that.
But
character.
Dylan, her mom is dying.
I know her mom's dying, and I get that. I'm sympathetic. Like, I'm not against her character, but like,
Uh
I don't know. I like Sam more. Sue me.
huh.
Um.
God.
Anyway, then they all go to the drive-through, and this is the part where they're all about to fight. But then Miguel's like, "We'll see you on the baseball field," and then I don't know how the fuck none of them saw this coming. Clearly, none of them have seen an '80s film. But then the
Yeah,
sprinklers turn on, and like they just all get soaked,
that's
which
right.
which was I thought was kind of funny because I don't like Tori or Robbie, so I was like, that worked out perfect.
Yeah, yeah.
and and then they go back to the dojo, and Johnny's like, so you just let them, you what, baited them into fighting and backed out like a pussy, which I loved because that's true. That's exactly what they did. How did you feel about all that?
Yeah, they did that. They justified it. What, like they couldn't fight him because they were like trying not to get in trouble or whatever. They couldn't fight anymore
Hmm.
until the All Valley tournament. That's why they couldn't fight. Is that what it was?
Yeah, they made a deal with Kreese at the end of season 3. They were like, at the All Valley, we're gonna settle this, and
Yeah.
that's why
So
they ended up working together in the first place.
a little part of me was like, you know, Johnny, they can't be fighting, but
Hmm.
also I was with you in the sense that like I would also love an awesome action piece here.
Hmm.
You
Yeah,
know.
I agree. On the baseball field,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, but that they're building it up for the finale, John.
Of course, of course.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And then this leads to like the conflict between the two. Like if they had fought, there would be no conflict. Like Johnny then fights with Daniel, right? Like they do the um we're in episode
Oh
5,
yeah.
and they do like their like fight for the kids, whoever gets to own the thing. And cleverly, even though I really didn't want them to fight, they both lose
Yeah,
or
which
both
should have
win.
told them that like this was stupid and they should just both team up again.
I know. Okay, so they split, and I was like, okay, we're halfway through the season. Like by episode 10, we're gonna be back together, right? Like this is the low point, right? I was like, okay, this is the low point for the team,
Yeah,
and then we'll make our way back to the
yeah,
to the All Valley.
yeah.
They just fight, and then they separate again, and I was like, bro, come on.
Why?
How did you feel about their fight? Their fight was fun. How did you feel about it?
Yeah, their fight was cool. I liked that it like they figured out how to get it to end in a draw.
Hmm.
Um, but I was just like, okay, if you can see that you're both evenly matched, shouldn't you realize that you should probably teach your moves to your students, since that means that you're both like really top tier with each
Hmm.
other. Like neither of you is the best. You're both extremely good.
Yeah,
I thought they would have realized it by the end of that fight. That's where I thought that was going to go. And
me
it didn't.
too, for
It didn't
real.
go there. Yeah.
Yeah, but it didn't go there at all. In fact, it went the
No.
opposite direction.
Yeah. They both threw a hissy fit and
Yeah, which
went their
I'm,
separate ways.
which it's none of it's not on brand for the characters. It's just not what I wanted to see. Like,
Exactly.
I'm not upset with that happening. I'm just upset with that happening. Like,
Yes.
like I did. It wasn't like, oh, I don't believe this. It was just like more like, damn it, like fuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so then this is where we move into the episode where the All Valley has different rules essentially. Like there's going to be a girls championship and a boys championship, and there's all these skill based competition things. Which I mean, we'll talk about it more when we get there. But how did you feel about the changes to the tournament?
I was like, whoa, y'all gonna break all the conventions to make it gender based? Huh?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I was like, wow. I was like, I figured they would be like men on women. They would just do it.
Yeah.
But
It's
I
like, what?
mean, I get it. Like it does technically, it does make sense, I guess, because
Uh-huh.
for the drama of the show, it makes sense. Like now we get, um, the finale between Tori and Sam, and the finale between what I thought was
Yes.
going to be Miguel and Robbie. Um,
Yeah.
but it didn't end up being that. Which we'll talk more about it later. Um,
Mhm.
So then both teams become they start strategizing. Tori is confronted by her aunt, which is never talked about again.
No.
Do you remember this when she's like, "Oh, I can't wait to take custody and get your disability checks," right?
Right.
And
Right. Yeah. I
I was just like, okay. And then it's never touched on. So maybe that'll be a next season thing. But I was like, why was that talked about?
Who knows?
Well, I guess it led Tori to talk to Amanda and be like, I need to re-enroll in school, but like, I'm worried about your daughter or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Hawk becomes Eli.
Right. Right.
How'd you feel about that and the
Yeah.
Tori
'Cause
situation?
they like freaking shave off his mohawk, right?
I know, bro. It's a fucking tragedy. Can you imagine? Can you imagine, John, getting a back tattoo with like a signature thing on it, being like if I get a back tattoo saying, "I'm Michael Jackson's son" or something like that. I don't know why it's that. I just came to mind. I'm Michael Jackson's son, and then like 10 years later, I found out like, oh, I'm not Michael Jackson's son. Like I was upset. How did you feel?
I felt for him. I felt for him. I was like, oh, I see what they're doing here. They're making us sympathize a little bit more with Hawk again
Mm-hmm.
to
Which is
bring us.
fine.
To bring us
I
back.
wouldn't against that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was like, they're trying to make us see the good guy in him, which they won me over. He won me over again by the end of it.
I agree. I agree. He did win me over. What I didn't expect was for him to not go back to Eagle Fang. Was he went to Miyagi Do?
That's right. Yeah, he did
Yeah,
do that.
I didn't expect that. Did you expect that? Did you see that coming?
I didn't. I didn't either. I understood his logic for it.
Hmm.
I think it kind of demonstrated character growth.
Yeah,
I
it really.
understood
Yeah, I
it.
think so too. I
I
think so too.
understood it. Yeah, I
And
respect him for
I
doing
like that move because what we'll talk about later, where he like the moves in the finale, where he's like he knows all my moves, and I thought it was quite clever.
Yeah,
Um.
it worked out really well.
So then Johnny gets Piper, who's a new character who I actually didn't mind on the team because he needs girl recruits from the debate team. How'd you feel about
Yeah.
Piper?
I want to see more of her, I think, to form a better opinion. But so far, I think we've like got a surface level character, you
Yeah,
know?
but she wasn't annoying to me. I kind of
No, 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 no. I wouldn't say she was annoying. Yeah, yeah. I want to see more of her for sure. Yeah, I'm interested in that character for sure.
yeah. So then we get I agree. I am interested too. Then we get Sam visiting Aisha in Santa Barbara. A surprise cameo?
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't expect that at all. Did you expect that?
That character comes back.
What happened? Did she just have to leave for another show? Do you know what happened there?
Um, I remember the showrunners talking about it as if that they just needed some characters to leave to make room for others, and that's just how shows go sometimes.
Damn, so they just cut her ass. Because I was like, well, they did kind of introduce Tori as soon as she left.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, a little bit before she left, but I was like, damn, I didn't expect her to just leave like that. And then I don't know, it wasn't out of place, but I was still like a little baffled. I was like, wow, I don't
Yeah,
know.
because we had like a whole cool arc and everything. It was
Yeah,
nice.
her coming
Uh,
back was a nice touch, though. I didn't hate it, didn't love it. It didn't really.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It's like, oh, it's like seeing an old friend. It's
yeah,
nice.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
So then we get to the locker room, and Lapusso steals Kenny's clothes to embarrass him.
God, man,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean they're doing some classic '80s bullying.
Yeah, but it's
Did you?
also like,
Oh, go ahead.
dude, this is kind of harassment. Like, I feel I feel like we need to call somebody higher, man. Like this needs to be dealt with on a different level.
Yeah, yeah, for real, for real. Um, so then, because he steals his clothes, Danny finds Kenny's Cobra Kai hoodie, and questions him about it, and then he tells, Anthony's like, oh well, Kenny, he's this guy fighting me, and I'm getting beat up by him, and whatever, whatever. And by the end, Daniel, they find out essentially that his kid is a bully. How did you feel about like that whole situation?
What did they end up doing to him?
They just
What did
grounded
they do
him.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And like and then there was a part there where Daniel tried to teach him like karate, but it nothing really happened to it because like his kid is kind of a dick and he like tried to sell away the stuff, but eventually by the end of the season, which we'll talk about, he does try and get closure. He's like, oh, I want to be, I'm sorry for what happened, and then Kenny just beats the fuck out of him.
He sure does.
Yeah. Well,
He sure
well, fuck
does.
it, we'll just talk about that since we're almost there anyway. How did you feel about
Yeah.
like the ending and like Kenny beating the fuck out of Lapusso?
I think that wrapped that up pretty well.
Yeah, I don't think
Um,
Anthony's gonna fuck with him again.
yeah, I honestly like uh, I hate to say it, but he kind of deserved it. Like you did a lot of messed up stuff, man. Like I know
He
you
really
just
did deserve that shit.
yeah, like you could tell Anthony like saw himself as a good person like throughout the whole thing.
Mhm.
Like, oh, I'm just doing this because my friends are making me do this and they want this to happen and I'm just doing it because they want this to happen. But no, man, you did that stuff. Like you did that, man. Like
Mhm.
you did it. So it's on you, man.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he should have gotten his ass pounded. He was trying to be nice, but I
Yeah.
still think it was deserved at the end of the day. Sometimes you just need that little. Sometimes you just need to get your ass beat.
Yeah. If your parents weren't gonna do it, you know?
Oh shit. um, uh, uh, anyway, then Miguel finds out about Johnny and Carmen, which actually went really well at first, which I was surprised by. Um, and then there's the scene where Miguel's like, okay, well, I don't want you to take it easy on me just because like they're dating, like they get in that little minor fight and stuff. How did you feel about that?
Yeah. Um, I honestly didn't really notice that Johnny was taking it easy on him. I was
Even
like,
when he was
is
like,
he?
sit this one out, Miguel.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I don't know. I didn't think he made it like blatant. I think I was honestly blinded by it. I don't
Because
know what was
to be
going on.
fair, that's kind of what Miguel was doing anyway. He was always helping the teacher out.
Yeah, yeah. So I was like, I don't
Mhm.
know. I just,
Yeah.
but yeah, yeah. I guess I could see where Miguel was coming from, but
Hmm.
yeah, Johnny owned up to it, and he changed his.
Yeah, ways.
Yeah, 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 and he started training him for real.
Hmm.
You know, worked out.
Then we get into this weird at the beginning of episode 8, Stingray is reintroduced.
My goodness.
Did you expect that at all?
No, I did not.
Did you like it? His return to Cobra Kai?
I I guess I understand why he was, you know.
Yeah, by the end, I
They
was like, okay, so that's why he was brought back.
yeah, they used him as a plot device,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know.
for real to move the plot forward.
Uh-huh.
Did you like his reintroduction and the party he throws at his house, his mom's house, I guess?
Yeah, this dude's freaking what a weird guy, man. Just
Hmm.
freaking like I think he's a good guy, like deep down. Like I think he's a good guy. He's just
Hmm.
kind of odd. Um, yeah, gets freaking
What a weird guy,
pulverized.
though. He throws a high school party at his house. He's
Yeah,
like,
he's a weird dude, man. He's a
he's a
weird
weird
dude.
guy. Yeah.
He's a really weird guy.
Yeah.
Um,
Um,
has no idea what's going on with Cobra Kai.
no, for real, really none at all.
Uh-huh.
Which was kind of funny as an outsider coming back, though. I did like that kind of. Um, but then after the reintroduction of Stingray, it is prom night. So they go to prom. Sam and Miguel are there, and they can't stop looking at Tori and Robbie. And Tori and Robbie took several lessons before coming to prom.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the dance interlude? Did you like that?
Um, what a way to show the drama through dance. Like,
Oh,
doesn't
you
it,
like that? The choreography, the storytelling.
doesn't it just make you want to do musicals again, Dylan? Like, just the
Yeah,
drama.
for real. While that's going on, Terry is the one paying for all of Robbie's prom stuff. So Johnny gets pissed and then goes and attacks, tries to attack Terry, gets his ass beat, and increases like showing sympathy, showing
Yeah,
mercy. How did you feel about
yeah.
that?
Um, I was like, I honestly was like, where is this coming from?
I
This
kind
guy,
of
like,
agree. Yeah.
yeah, I was like, this wasn't really shown to us before.
Yeah, I was like, I kind of thought Kreese was gonna put a couple punches in,
Yeah.
or at least just be like stop, and then just throw him out. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
But he was like full on resisting all of it.
Yeah,
I was
it felt out of place.
it did I felt I'll give it a halfway out of place.
Okay.
Like they've been showing us his flashbacks, so I was like, okay. But at the same time, I mean, this is the guy who brought Terry back. So like, I don't know. It's just weird, dude.
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah.
conflicted about it. I'm not sold on it yet. Maybe next season I'll be sold on it.
Right.
Then of course we cut back to the after party. There's naturally a fight between the four main, and they kind of make it seem like Tori's still interested in Miguel, Miguel's still interested in Tori, and Robbie's still interested in Sam, Sam's still interested in Robbie, which I wasn't a big fan of. I was like, no, it's over between them. Like, I was like,
It's like
let's
teenage
move on.
hormones.
Like,
You just have feelings for everybody.
yeah. And then Miguel's had a rough night. He goes to Johnny for some advice. He's feeling down. Johnny says he wants to be a father. I had a really good scene at first when he's like, I want to be a father figure to you, but I just suck at it. And then I thought this was fantastic. Like I was about to cry. He was like, no, you're doing a great job. Like Miguel was saying, like you're doing a lot, like pretty good. I love you. And I was like, wow, that's really powerful. And then fucking Johnny says, I love you, Robbie.
Oh man,
And
yeah.
just destroyed my soul. I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, man.
Fumbled the bag so hard.
That hurt, man.
Dude, it sucked ass. It sucked ass. Not like sucked in like, oh, this is bad quality. Like I was in pain. Like I was like, oh no. Like I wanted to be like Miguel in that scene. I wanted to just sob. Because that was right after Robbie was like, my father's only talking to you because he's trying to fix what happened between me. So
Yeah.
how did you feel about that scene and like everything that happened there?
I also was like, Miguel, don't take it personal, man. Like it's a dream, you know?
No, no.
That's
He
my
really said that shit when he was drunk, bro.
that's
That
my
means it's
innocent look
so
at it.
true. There could have been nothing truer for him to say because he no filter ass said that shit to him.
Uh-huh.
God, this shit hurt. He broke my heart, John.
He sure did, man. He broke everybody's heart with that.
um, but anyway, yeah, that happens. Then we get to the tournament finally. And they give him all a pep talk. Miguel's like, I'm not feeling this because of clearly what happened, in the previous episode. Then they get Carrie Underwood.
Oh my God. Oh my God, yeah.
This was so weird.
I fucking skipped through that, man.
Well, but you can't though. Like I skipped. Like there's Carrie Underwood for like it's like 30 seconds of her just singing, and I was sitting there. I was like, no. Like I thought it was gonna be like a whole 4 or 5 minute song, and I was like, they're not really gonna do this. Then they started playing some like important exposition over it, and I was like, okay. But how did you feel about the appearance of surprise guest Carrie Underwood in this episode?
How fucking big is karate in this area that fucking
Carrie Underwood.
Carrie Underwood is coming to perform at this event?
I just thought I could not believe that. I was just in shock.
What is the budget for this All Valley tournament?
Exactly. Exactly. What's the budget for this show? This Carrie Underwood show. I felt like they had like $50,000 to spare, and they were like, you know what? How about we have a guest star in the last like 10 minutes of the 9th episode?
Yeah.
It caught me so off guard. It caught me so off guard. But then we move into the actual competition. Tori beats Devon, and they're out of the Eagle Fang's not going to win the woman competitions. They're sucking it up at the skills. They need both Miguel and what's who they need Miguel to win essentially.
Yeah.
And so Miguel's in the fight. They're doing their thing, and Miguel twists his back and like it pops and he falls to the ground. How did you feel about this, John?
I I guess it was a callback to Karate Kid 1 where Danny's leg is twisted or whatever.
What? When he sweeps the leg?
I guess so. I don't know, but I mean, not in that sense, but like just the injury itself. And then what does he do? He goes to the back room and
Yeah, that's
he's like,
episode 10. Yeah. This one ends on this cliffhanger. Like he hits the mat and he goes, ah, and then it cuts to black.
oh, okay.
And I'm going to be honest, John, this scared the shit out of me.
I was like, what does this mean?
No, well, because I was like, okay, he broke his spine. Like he couldn't walk. So I was like,
Yeah,
to be doing karate again, that's like one thing. And whoever sound designed it wanted us to really think that he shattered every bone in his back again.
yeah.
Because it was like, and it was like, ooh, it's like fucking terrible. And
Yeah.
I was just sitting there. I was like, no fucking way. They're really gonna make him break his back at the finals. It scared me, John. My heart fluttered. I don't. Did yours, or were you like, whatever?
I had an open mouth. I was surprised. I was like, where is this going?
Mm-hmm.
How dare you not end this the way I thought it was going to end?
How dare Miguel breaks his back, possibly. Then they fake you out in the next episode almost instantly because he's like, oh no, he just pulled his muscle a little bit.
Yeah.
And I was like, I know what pulling a muscle sounds. He did not pull a muscle. He shattered his spine. Um,
Yeah.
but meanwhile, while that's happening, Kenny and Robbie fight. And Robbie just fucking decimates him. How did you feel about Kenny beating and Robbie's fight where Robbie just goes no mercy on him?
Man, Robbie, what kind of person you trying to be, man? Like, are you still on Kreese's side after all this, man? Like, are you still that blind?
He's
Are
trying to
you
be
still
dick,
gonna
bro.
Are you still gonna be this petty about it? Like,
Absolute dick. Robbie, dick. um, yeah, and he fucks
like
him
that.
up, and then like the kid goes to the locker room, and it's like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, I like the scene. I like him beating the dude's ass because I was sitting there thinking, I was like, why is Robbie even entertaining this? Um, and the spin kicks. Oh, well, we'll get into that. So then episode 10 happens. Anthony apologizes to Kenny, but because Kenny is, letting out aggression, like we said earlier, he beats the dick out of Anthony. Nice touch. Then he stopped by Robbie, and Robbie's like, oh, like, I can't believe this happened. Like, how could, why is he doing this? Because as if he didn't know that that's what kids in Cobra Kai did. Right? Like, am I crazy? And then Sam and Tori, they advance, and then they fight. And she does. Oh wait, no, fuck me. That's not true. They both advance. Then Miguel disappears. He's not in the final fight. How did you feel about that?
I was like, okay. I honestly did not like the decision that the writers made as far as where he went. I guess I understand that they led to that decision, but I don't know. I have feelings about it. Anyway,
I
yeah.
thought him leaving the fight made sense because you could kind of tell he wasn't really ready to be there yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, he was ready to fight before Johnny told him that he didn't love him, but he wasn't ready to win again. I didn't think he was going to win again. And also, it didn't shock me that he didn't win because Cobra Kai never dies. So I was like, they're going to win, right? You kind of know they have to win because Cobra Kai is the name of the show, and if there's no Cobra Kai, then like what, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I was like, Miguel's not winning this year, but him disappearing, I didn't see happening. I thought Robbie was gonna kick the shit out of him.
Yeah.
So what they do instead is they have Robbie face Eli. Um, and I thought this fight was actually pretty well done. Where they're
I
like
thought so too.
they can't beat each other because they know each other's moves. I thought that was kind of hella dope. And then eventually, Eli wins the tournament. I thought I liked that.
Yeah.
How did you feel about the Eli Robbie fight?
Yeah, I thought it was cool. I was like, good for you, man. You reached that level, man, that you're that good, Eli.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we underestimated you a little bit.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and I like I like the moment where he like has no confidence, and then like the girl comes up and kisses him, and he's like, "Okay, I'm back in business."
yeah.
Like his little strut, like when he's about to like fight somebody, and he's like, "I'm gonna win this whole fucking thing." Like I thought that was pretty. I liked it. I thought it was pretty fun. How did you feel about that?
About his strut.
Yeah, how do you like his strut, John?
Yeah, I thought it was a great strut, Dylan. I thought it was an awesome strut.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Um, then, we get to the Tori Sam fight, and like I said, almost zero tension here because Cobra Kai never dies. So I didn't think that Sam was going to walk away with the victory, even though she technically should have, as we find out that Terry cheats, right? So they're Terry's like fight dirty, and Kreese is like, no, don't fight dirty because he's on a 2-episode arc here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then, Tori wins by cheating, kind of. And Terry announces, he's going to start to expand Cobra Kai. How did you feel about Tori winning? Did you like that?
No.
You didn't like the team up between. See, they team up again, but it's not enough, John. It's not enough. Johnny and Daniel team up again to like coach her in the finale. Miyagi Fang, as they call it. But it's not enough, John.
She lost in my mind. She freaking lost.
Tori?
She got left. Yeah.
Or Sam?
Tori.
Well, she did technically. I mean, she did lose, but like,
yeah,
Terry paid off the ref.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. I get it. Like, I get it. But how did you feel about the team up specifically, though, Johnny and Daniels? Do you feel like it wasn't enough, like me? John?
I felt it was enough.
You liked it? You were like, oh yeah, they're use Miyagi Fang.
I mean, if they had done it throughout the whole season, maybe it would have been enough,
Yeah, and like the whole like Sam jumping over the building thing was cool, and like I get it, she wanted to learn Eagle Fang karate.
That was crazy, man. I was like, what the hell, man?
I know. I thought that was too far too. I was like, Johnny, really? Like that's the move today? But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. The team up didn't feel. It just didn't feel like enough to me. That's kind of how I feel because like I was like, oh, I want them to be like synergize the dojos again after this, but they didn't.
Yeah.
They just teamed up for the final fight, and then they had still lost. So I'm like, I don't know. But then, we cut to the end. Robbie breaks down because, Pat, never put passion over principle. And he did. And then he's crying, and Johnny shows up, and they hug, and it's like a really sweet moment. Did you like that moment?
Yeah, it was great.
Okay, good. I'm glad you liked it because I would have rather seen it between him and Miguel. So,
same here.
I don't like Robbie, dude. Fuck this kid. I would have left him too. Shit. That's horrible. But anyway, then Kreese gets arrested.
That's right. That's
he
right.
Gets framed for Terry beating the shit out of Stingray.
Yeah.
Did you like that, or what do you think about that?
I was like, what? Where did that come from?
Hmm.
Okay. Okay. I guess this
It
is what we're
was a
doing.
nice twist because I was wondering. I was like, okay, so is Stingray going to become Cobra Kai again, or is he just beating the dick out of him?
Hmm.
And he was
Hmm.
just beating the dick out of him to
Yeah.
yeah, which was nice. I mean, Kreese got arrested. He's going to prison for a while, so he's probably
Yeah.
not. I don't even know if he's going to be in next season. What do you think?
I have no idea. It's either like maybe he'll post bail and he'll team up with Johnny and
Oh God.
Danny and they'll team up against Terry. Who knows? Who
Yeah,
knows?
maybe. I don't even know, dude. Um, but yeah, then Miguel decides to go to Mexico to search for his father that doesn't know he exists. How did you feel about that?
What the heck, man? What kind of decision was that? I was like, did the writers not know what to do? Why are we doing this? Why
You
are we
didn't like
doing this?
that?
No, I didn't like it.
I was I don't understand the search for his own father. I feel like there was like two lines about it.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, I never knew my dad." And I was like, "Okay, well that's fine." But like then he was like, "I'm going to go find him." And I was like, "You don't even know where he's at."
Yeah.
So I'm like, what's the plan here? It's a very teenager plan.
Yeah.
Like it's a very like
Me-
I'm gonna run away from my family, like like that
Mexico's a
type of
big
plan. You know what I'm
country,
saying?
man.
Like it's not a very good plan. And we'll see what happens. I don't know. But Johnny's going after him, and I don't know. We'll see what happens. And then Daniel enlists the help of Chosen to help defeat Cobra Kai once and for all, which I did like because, like I said, I love Chosen. And I'm excited about that. But
Yeah.
John, that's the end of season 4. What did you think overall? What are your final overall thoughts?
Overall, it was awesome. It's great. I love the show. A little,
I think it's a lot of fun. Yeah.
yeah, it's a very fun show. I think we need more shows like it, to be honest.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, it's great. I'm looking forward to more of it. I'm looking forward to season 5.
Hmm. And 6. There's going to be a 6th one apparently. So
My goodness. Yeah,
yeah,
I'm all for it. I will go ahead and when season 5 comes out, I guarantee you I'll watch it in a day,
I
like I've done
agree.
with
I
season.
I agree. I agree. What would you say you have a favorite part of season 4? What do you think it'd be?
Man, that's hard. Prob Probably the Eli Robbie fight. I thought it was really cool. I thought it
I
was a good
agree.
fight.
Yeah,
Yeah, I thought it was a good fight.
that was a lot of fun. Yeah, I think so too. Eli Robbie fight was a good time. I'm trying to think if there was another moment where I was like, "Oh shit, that was hella good." I want to say the moment where he calls him Robbie would have been my favorite if he didn't
Hmm.
call him Robbie. But he did
Yeah.
call him Robbie, so I'm
Yeah.
heartbroken. I don't even think about it. But yeah, the Eli Robbie fight was a good time. Um, and then now we get to talk about what's up next, John. Do you have any predictions for season 5 of Cobra Kai?
I have no fucking clue, man. I have no idea what's
Really?
next.
Well, we have a couple of loose strings. So clearly we know Miguel is going to go see his dad. Do you think he finds him? And if he does, what do you think happens there?
I think the writers are gonna chicken out, and Johnny's gonna find him before he gets to Mexico.
But he popped on the bus.
I don't know. I don't know.
Really? You think so? Well, because I was
Yeah.
thinking, I was like, is his father going to be someone significant? Because they're writing it in a way where I feel like, doesn't it feel like they're writing it in a way where we're going to know who his dad is?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm like, I don't feel like we know who his dad is, but they're writing it in the way where I'm like, do we? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
I
weird,
never thought about it that way, but you might be right.
but it's weird. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. What do you think's going on with Robbie and Johnny? Do you think we finally get to see a reconciliation, or do you think they're gonna go at odds again?
Man, there better be a reconciliation because Robbie needs to get over this, man.
Well, I was thinking, I was like, if Johnny's really gonna go to Mexico, Robbie's gonna fucking be pissed.
Yeah, you're right.
Like, there's no way that Johnny can just leave for like however long to go and find Miguel without Robbie being like, "Oh, you left for him, but you didn't come and see me at my birth or whatever."
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, so that might be a conflict. I think. Um, how do you think the Terry? How do you think the Terry and John Kreese situation is going to work out?
I don't know because Silver was talking about like expanding Cobra Kai
Mm-hmm.
throughout all of the valley.
Which I think he's definitely going to do.
Yeah. So I'm like, are we just gonna watch all of these people create separate dojos
Mm-hmm.
and battle it out? I don't know.
Yeah, it's gonna be weird. Do you think they're gonna do a time jump? Maybe. Um, for
Oh, I
once,
think
do you think, or do you think they're gonna pick up right where we left off again and kind of go from there? Like maybe the All Valley's right around the corner next season, or do you think it'll be like the same, where like maybe the final showdown's at a like park or something?
I think I could see a time jump this next go around.
Like maybe 6 months or something, like something, because these kids are getting old. Bro.
They really are.
Do you know how old Sam is? Like the actress who plays Sam?
What is she, 24?
Dead on, John. How the fuck did you know that?
Hey man, I look up movie news and
I guess
stuff.
that's true, but Jesus, that was dead on. What the fuck? Anyway, and then Daniel Chosen. Do you think we'll ever get to see Daniel and Johnny create their own dojo?
I hope we do. I hope we do.
Me
It
too.
doesn't seem it doesn't seem like they're leading to that, but I hope they do.
Can you imagine the show ends? Like if they became friends and like opened their own dojo at the end of the show, like the series finale, and it was called like Miyagi Kai or something.
Ooh,
I just think Miyagi Kai is such a good name for them to not use. Like if they don't use that name once in the show, I'm gonna
that's
be
a great one.
I'm gonna be like, come on, bro. Like Miyagi Kai, that's so fucking cool.
I like that.
It's
Yeah.
better than Miyagi Fang.
Yeah.
Horrible. And I think what do you so we've done Karate Kid 1, 2, 3. We brought all the old people back from that.
Hmm.
What are the chances you think we see a Hillary Swank from the next Karate Kid?
No. No. Not happening.
You don't
I
think it's
think I think they're bringing Jaden Smith and
they gonna bring in Jaden Smith,
they're
the
gonna
Kung Fu
bring
Kid,
Jaden Smith.
before we see Hillary Swank?
Jaden Smith is Miguel's father.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine? Could you
I don't
fucking
even know how old
imagine?
Jaden Smith is. I think
Jaden
he's our
Smith is
age.
Miguel's father. Oh my god. That would be wild. What if it's like, oh shit, you know what I forgot to mention? You know the guy in Karate Kid 1 who goes, put him in a body bag, Johnny.
Yeah.
And they bring him back in season 2 for like one episode, right? And then he dies, right? And he's
Yeah.
dead. The actor's dead in real life, rest in peace. But he dies, right? And then they literally put him in a body bag. It's the
What?
cruelest joke I've ever seen.
Did they do that on purpose?
Well, I can't. They have to have because there's literally a shot of him zipping up the body bag with him in it, and I was like, "This is the dude who was like, put him in a body bag, Johnny. Put him in a body bag." And they literally kill him and then do it, and then he dies in real life. Like I was like, "This is so cruel." I don't know. I couldn't believe I was seeing that, but I had to say that on the show. I had to. Um, but other than
I
that,
had
like
no idea that happened. I had
that's
no idea.
insane to me. That's just fucking crazy to me that they did that. But um, what about the dude from Karate Kid 3, Bob something, some the dude who was the dude that Daniel fought at the end of Karate Kid 3. You think we'll see him at all?
Oh yeah, I could see him coming back. I mean,
I,
that's like the only person left, right?
well, besides Hillary Swank, could you imagine Academy Award winner Hillary Swank comes back to play whatever the name of her character was in the next Karate Kid?
Hey man,
Could you imagine, John?
Likely Hilary Swank or Jaden Smith. I don't know.
Oh my God, John, you have to let go of the Jaden Smith thing, dude. There's no way that fucker's coming back.
Okay, Jackie Chan is coming on.
That's Miguel's father.
That's Miguel's father.
Jackie Chan. Fuck me. All right, John. Where are you? You have anything else you'd like to say about season 4?
No, I'm all good.
All right, perfect. Where can people reach out and find you on social media, man?
Jon Costa 364 on Instagram. That's the best place
Mm-hmm.
and only place.
Okay, perfect. And that will conclude our show, ladies and gentlemen. If you enjoyed this, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It really, really helps us out. Add me on Instagram at Dylan Reviews. We're all appreciative of you listening, and we hope to have you back when we talk about Scream 5 real soon. Like I said, thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you then. Do you like that? Do you like that outro, John?
Yeah, that was great.
Thank you.